everybody. Welcome to World's Strongest Man in beautiful Anna Maria Island, Florida. Typical, isn't it? Lovely day at the beach and a bunch of flocking egrets turn up. These magnificent creatures come here every winter, of course, to enjoy Florida's milder climes. And they're not the only ones, because this year another big bird is in town too. A man they call the albatross. A man for whom the answer to the question, migrate, could just be yes, yes I am.
Qualified for the World's Strongest Man final, Tom Stoltman.
I didn't kind of tell people till I was in my high school years about my autism and stuff, you know, it's just my family. So through high school, once I came out that I was autistic, I had the best support I've ever had in my life. I mean, you know, I thought a lot of my mates and stuff would give me a label and thought, you know, like, oh, he's different, I don't want to hang around with him and stuff, but the support I got was unbelievable. You know, the teachers, everyone just kind of respected who I was.
Well, look at that. The first brothers to get into the World's Strongest Man Grand Finals. I
just want to make people aware that, you know, it's not going to make you different, and just to speak out about it. I'm going to be an ambassador soon for autism in the UK as well, and I help a lot of schools with autism. I go around talks, and I love just speaking about it, you know, because when you see other kids with autism and they see me with what I've done, they smile and they kind of look on their face that they know they can do something. It's just a great feeling.
Shaw used to be known as the King of the Stones. Tom Stoltman, he could have a claim for that. He's brilliant at them. This is a great chance to show it.
I know it sounds a bit big-headed, but like when I've set a goal, and I've set like a massive goal for myself, and that is to like win World's Strongest Man, obviously the biggest title you can win in strongman, and like when I win it, you know, that's going to be like, you know, someone with autism has just done something that nobody in the world could probably imagine he was going to do. So yeah, I really want to win it. It's a massive, massive drive for me right now, and I'm really hungry to win the titles.
Well, this is big from Stoltman.
Very impressive from Tom. He can mix it with the biggest of the big boys.
The albatross, a big man with big ambitions. He's not the only one in this heat, though, with plans for a qualifying spot. So to meet some of the people he'll be up against, let's join our commentators, the eagle-eyed Colin Bryce and Danny Wallace.
Well, thanks, James. And Stoltman will be up against this guy from Ukraine, Novikov.
Yes, nearly made the final last year. He's got a lot to prove. He is strong.
Then Trey Mitchell, in fact, Trey Mitchell the third and very much the strongest.
Yes, the man who beat Novikov in the stone-off last year. They're back in the same heat again.
From Wales, Gavin Bilton.
The biggest man we've ever had in terms of weight at World's Strongest Man.
And one of the worst dancers.
Magnificent moustache, though.
Then it's Boudreault from Canada. Lives in a place called Thunder Bay. We found him in a forest.
He scrubs up well, though, and he is the second strongest man in Canada.
And, well, in Florida, Hurricane Eta struck, and our strong men had to take shelter from the storm. Very on brand for 2020. Colin gave a motivational speech, which, as you can see, didn't work.
Nuclear war, it's gonna happen.
After that, well, the set was washed away. That was expensive and annoying. So it's to the convention centre we go.
Well, we're here in the big hall with a big hall, Eddie Hall, while the weather does its thing outside. Eddie, we're looking forward to Heat 3, not least because it's got Tom Stoltman in it. How far is he going to go this year?
Well, last year he came 5th, and, you know, I spoke to him after the show last year. He was very angry, actually, very upset where he came. So he's had a whole year to train. Him and his brother set up a gym up in the Highlands. They've been training really hard. He's coming bigger, he's coming stronger, and more importantly, I think he's coming angry this year. He wants some redemption. He wants a podium spot.
Right, an angry Tom Stoltman in a group that's also got some interesting characters in it in the shape of Novikov and Trey Mitchell. Now, one of the most amazing things about last year's contest was their last man standing stone-off, which went on for over 5.5 minutes.
I tell you what, that was one of the most memorable things I've ever seen in my life. 5 minutes of constant 160 kilo at the stone, back and forth. It was mesmerising. Novikov I'm not just saying this, he's probably one of the most amazing athletes I've ever seen in my life. He's 24 years of age. He's not the biggest guy here, but he's definitely showing them how strongman is done. I'm really excited to see how he's progressed.
Okay, he just missed out to Trey Mitchell in that stone-off last time. Be interesting to see what happens when they come up against each other in Heat 3. It all begins, though, with event 1, which is the Farmers' Walk. For that, it's over to Colin and Danny.
Thanks, James. Thanks, Eddie. Yes, the Farmers' Walk, 150 kilos in each hand, 60 seconds to carry these logs from end to end. Don't drop them in the middle, otherwise it's all over. First up, from Canada, Maxime Boudreault. First time here, and as you so astutely pointed out, Colin, Canada's second strongest man.
Yes, he's been on the fringe of coming to World's Strongest Man for some time now, and he just seemed to make a breakthrough this year. He's had a couple of good results, in particular at the Arnold Classic qualifier, in front of Arnold himself on Venice Beach. And here he is on these Farmers' Walks. He's got a very good grip, very athletic. And so far, so good. 12 meters, that first length, and then it's 10 meters and 10 meters after that. You've got to get it over the white line. If you drop it between the white lines, then it is go terminated.
Well, started off very steady. Starting to take its toll, though, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just keeping the air coming in. Like a little steam train there. 25 seconds to go. He's now on 32 meters. We've seen from the other groups doing this very event that 52 meters is really maxing it out. He's got basically one more length. If he does any more than that, he's better than anyone else in any other group. So far, anyway.
Well, a good performance there from Boudreault. Didn't quite manage that final length.
No, he didn't. So he's just shy of 50 meters. 46.34 in the end. I think he'll be pretty pleased with that. That is a good performance to kick it off. It's the benchmark for the others. And, yeah, just knocking against his legs there. Not much he could do when that starts happening. It'll just take your legs out from right under you.
On then to Scotland's Tom Stoltman. Third time here, just getting better and better and better.
Yes, made the World's Strongest Man final with his brother last year. That was the first time any brothers have done such a feat. And he's definitely favourite for this group. Ooh, that was a bit of an ugly pickup there. It's dragging a bit at the back. And it can tap like that. Magnus Fair, the head referee with the black hat on, he'll allow it as long as you're not literally just dragging it along the ground, because it really is no help whatsoever. Oh my goodness, he's gone the opposite this time. Too far back in the grip.
This will be taking its toll on his back. 6'8", they've got a long way to go.
He's got a long way to pick it up, that's for sure. Each one of these turns will be a little bit harder for him. He's trying to keep it away from his legs. It's difficult to do. It's a bit like carrying shopping. If you can push out with your back, your lats, then it stops the shopping bags hitting your legs. Well, maybe most people don't have that problem, but
just over 10 seconds now. Don't think he's going to be bothering Boudreault.
Oh, you can see it coming out his hand.
What more can he give? Oh, a little something, maybe a quarter of a metre.
It's not quite as far, though, is it, as Boudreault?
No.
It was worth him giving it a little go, though. Of course, we got 3 more men to go from the group, so almost 43 meters.
42.78 there for Tom Stoltman.
Well, when you consider how he gripped it, look how far back his left hand is. The balance point was all wrong. That was a brute strength to finish that one off.
Well, coming up then, bit of a rivalry. Stole the headlines in 2019, round 2 of Novikov versus Trey Mitchell III. And that is next.
Welcome back to Bradenton, a hidden jewel on Florida's west coast and picturesque location for the SBD World's Strongest Man. This year's competition is a little different, but one thing that's remained from last time is the rivalry between Oleksii Novikov and Trey Mitchell III. After last year's epic stone-off between the pair, they're back in the same heat together. Who'll get the upper hand this time? Over to Colin and Danny.
So on to Novikov then. Spends so much time growing his beard. He has no time for the moustache. Just getting...
That is quick.
Speed on Novikov. Quick turn, just a moment to adjust.
That's extraordinary power from the 24-year-old. He is so strong. Just manhandling those off the ground, and he's not wasting any time, just spotting his pick and then going.
Doesn't even really seem to be struggling at this point. It's just get it done.
So we're on 32 meters so far. We're just under 30 seconds, so he's used up just over half his time. He's so quick, isn't he?
I think we're going to see quite a performance here from Novikov.
42 meters. Can he get it all the way down the other end? This is tremendous. He's going to do it, no problem. Oh, just gets it over the white line. He almost went short there, and that is the farthest we've seen. That's extraordinary.
Look at that from Novikov. A little skip, chest bump to himself. Out comes the guard. Another little bump.
Oh, it deserves a big crowd cheering. 57.54 meters. Yes, I think that was more of a shout to the other athletes in his group. I'm here, I'm making the final, I am the strongest.
Well, that's what he sounds like when he's happy. So, on to Gavin Bilton, the Welshman.
Yes, he's a former rugby player, former soldier, former boxer as well. He's done it all. Now weighs in over 200 kilograms. He's really taken to the eating part of strongman the most. He's accelerating incredibly quickly. UK's strongest man, as well as a competitor at Europe's strongest man, where he certainly didn't let himself down. Now, very strong statically. Very good at things like truck pulls and whatnot. What's his grip like? It looks good, that's for sure.
Looks very strong at this point. Also looks like he might have taken Novikov's moustache. If you put the two of them together, they'd have a full beard. Up it goes, really showing the strength there, just breathing out again like a steam train. I'm not sure how much more he's got to give, though.
Oh, he went short.
He did go short.
That's it.
Very painful, that, to take the skin off.
Yeah. It hasn't happened much on those thick handles. Normally it's the thinner handles. And if he makes the final, he's got Hercules hold. That won't be fun with that cut.
Representing the United States of America.
On then to Trey Mitchell, the third. Obviously grown in confidence. He just calls himself Trey Mitchell now.
Well, after last year beating Novikov, gaining that last spot in the grand final, that was a huge moment in his career. He's really a relative novice.
A little bit unstable there. His legs just went. He was losing the balance. They were starting to clash at the back. And it was as if his knees just couldn't take it.
Yeah, just knocked him totally off balance. He got the pickup all wrong. He's furious at himself there. He certainly looked like he could have done a lot more grip-wise, but when your legs get taken out from under you, that's it.
So Novikov takes that event with 57.54 meters. Boudreault behind him. Stoltman in third. And the Welshman, Gavin Bilton, on his debut, manages fourth in the Farmer's Walk. And he joins James at the Desk of Dreams.
All right, well, ahead of event 2, the squat lift, we're here with Gavin Bilton, new to World's Strongest Man this year. Gavin, first of all, how big are you?
6'6" and 210 kilograms.
Which makes you, I'm told, the heaviest man we've ever had at World's Strongest Man.
Yeah, I've been told that. That's quite something. I'm pretty happy with that.
I imagine. I imagine. It's a very interesting background that you have, Gavin. Until last summer, you were serving with the 1st Battalion of the Welsh Guards.
Yeah, joined 2007. Did 13 years and 2 operational tours of Afghanistan.
Right.
Yeah.
Amongst all of that, you're also playing Premiership rugby and becoming a strongman. How long have you been in strongman?
I put my foot down 2 years ago, really, when I retired from rugby. So 2 years fully committed.
Next up, we've got the squat lift, which is one of your favourite events.
Yeah, I do enjoy the squat,
right.
but using a piece of equipment like this, it'll be the first for me.
So I'm just going to embrace it and hit as hard as I can and just enjoy it, yeah.
Okay, but having said that, you're what, 220 kilos?
210 kilograms.
210 kilos. You're used to picking up this kind of weight every time you get out of bed.
Yeah, just getting out of bed is the same sort of weight, yeah.
All right, let's see how you get on then, because up next it is the squat.
It is indeed the squats, and this is heavy. 700 pounds, 317.5 kilos. Put it into context, that's about 3 fully grown Tom Sellecks and 1 10-year-old Tom Selleck.
Representing
so really 3 1/3 Tom Sellecks. And Trey Mitchell is the first to give it a go. It's about 50 stone.
Yes, when you consider a racehorse is just under 60 stone, it certainly is a heck of a weight to have on your back. Oof.
Good leg.
Did he touch the bottom there? Yes, he did. Yeah, comfortably.
Good leg. Squat.
That's the key here. Both sides have to touch the pads. Magnus Sven Magnusson, the head referees, facing straight on, giving him the commands.
Good leg. Squat.
And you can use the slight bounce to your advantage.
Good leg.
Oh, definitely. He's doing exactly that, isn't he? But it can go very wrong very quickly if you just hit it at the wrong angle.
Yeah, you need to keep this perfectly balanced.
Oh, he's starting to struggle now. I'm not sure we'll see double figures.
And that's 9 so far for Trey Mitchell.
He's rolling around on his back.
Give us a 10th. Yes, he will.
Look at the eyes, they're going bloodshot.
Well, that's 11 for Trey Mitchell. I don't think he's got much more in him. Neither does he. Well, look at that. Well, that's an extraordinary performance there from Trey Mitchell. 11 reps.
I think he just wants to sit there for a little bit.
Well, a roar. That's chalk. You can't breathe fire. 11 reps for Trey Mitchell, the third. Setting quite a challenge for the others.
He looks almost giddy with the pain he's just had to endure. This is a brutal event. Look at those eyes. He's a fighter.
Representing Great Britain.
So he's been looking forward to this. As he said, he enjoys the squats. Gavin Bilton.
Yeah, he's maybe not used to this kind of equipment, though. He's got to take it easy, get the first couple of reps under his belt, and then build up a rhythm. So it's so different to a normal bar in a gym. In a gym, the weights would rotate and the bar would stay where it is. That's why it's rolling around on his back. Ooh, ooh.
Oh, no. Well, Bilton, something's gone very, very wrong. But where? Was it his leg that went, Colin?
Yeah, there was a little grimace there. It was certainly something painful in his... I think it was his left side seemed to buckle. Let's have a little look here. He went down. He touched the pads pretty much at the same time, but something wasn't quite right. I think he was leaning a little too far forward. It's probably lower back, or... Yeah, maybe his... I heard someone saying ribs there, so maybe he's just popped something in his ribs. It happens in squatting. It's one of those things that is very uncomfortable, very painful, but he may be able to continue. So when it's lower back, of course, that's when you really get worried. So if it is rib, that's good news.
We hope he'll be back. We have to move on to Tom Stoltman, one of the Stoltman brothers.
You'd think at 6'8", he wouldn't be suited to squatting, but remarkably, well, he just overcomes it with great power, I guess. We saw in the World's Strongest Man finals, the grand finals last year. He was looking really solid in the squat, but he's maybe just rushing this. He's got to be careful.
He looks pretty comfortable using that bounce.
You can hear Luca's brother shouting, "Good Tom," in the background. There we go. Breath in, holds the breath. You want to keep everything super tight on the way down. Hold that breath in, that big wall of muscle around your waist. And that's the real belt. Oh my goodness, it stops at 8, but think he's put up a pretty decent number there.
Well, absolutely, 8 reps then for Tom Stoltman. Trey Mitchell still leading with 11.
Yeah, Mitchell's really surprised me. I think people thought he was a bit of a one-trick pony with his Atlas Stone win over Novikov last year, but to beat Tom Stoltman here in the squat, that's very impressive. Let's see what the others do.
The Canadian, Boudreault.
Representing Canada.
Next.
Maxime Boudreault.
Isn't it interesting, because I think everybody thought Tom Stoltman was going to come into this heat and just bully his way through it, winning everything, but he's not even remotely bothered by it.
Well, 7 reps then for Boudreault. Delighted with that. As you say, took his time, didn't he, to work it out.
Yes, he seemed to accelerate through the second, third reps and then didn't quite have the power to beat Tom Stoltman, but he certainly put up a good fight, that's for sure.
Very impressive from Boudreault.
Representing Ukraine.
So the last man for this event then, Novikov.
With only 135 kilos, I mean, he's giving up about 75 kilos on Gavin Bilton. But he's been squatting from a young age. I mean, he is so schooled in what he does. He's a professional strongman. Don't be fooled by his young age. Oh! No, he's being a little goofy here.
Slightly too quick, isn't he? Risking that balance.
Yes, he's gone for a very wide stance. That just allows him to drop his hips in a bit easier. You don't have to necessarily be quite as deep. Oh, he was trying to get the bounce there. What a recovery that was. My goodness. That was brute power there. He's not made this easy.
He hasn't. That's 8 reps.
To go ahead of Tom Stoltman. 11 is what he wants if he wants to match Trey Mitchell, and he's had to fight for every one. He's basically got knee wraps on that are too tight and hurting his legs. There we go. Hope that translation helps, Danny. Let's have a look here. Well, there was so much to say about that. He kept hitting the one side harder than the other. It didn't help him at all.
So Trey Mitchell, a hugely impressive performance there. 11 reps. Novikov with that recovery took him to 10. And Stoltman, well, managed 8. So after the second event, as you'd imagine, Novikov extends his lead, 9 points. Mitchell, Stoltman and Boudreault tie for second, and Bilton, now injured, just at the bottom. Well, hopefully he'll be back for this. Because I'll be back, and Colin will be back, and the strongman will be back, and so will you. Monster Loading Medley is next.
Now it's your chance to be a winner.
Yeah! Yes!
You can get your hands on some World's Strongest Man goodies, courtesy of the World's Strongest Man.
What? Is this too much?
And that's not all. There's also £5,000 cash up for grabs. I know, 5 grand. Think of all the dumbbells you could buy with that.
You ever see something like this, Eddie?
Never.
But just like our strongmen, you need to be in it for a chance to win it.
So for 5 grand in your hand and some World's Strongest Man goodies, all you have to do is
text STRONG to 65555 or call 0902 055 0555 or post your name and phone number to Strong PO Box 7557 Derby DE10MP. Text costs £2 plus 1 message at your standard network rate. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Lines close at midday on the date shown on screen and 3 working days later for postal entries. For rules and privacy policy, go to channel5.com/win. Good luck. Welcome back to the 2020 SBD World's Strongest Man in Bradenton, Florida. Those flocking egrets we saw back at the start aren't the only wild things you find here in Florida in the winter. There's also these monster jam trucks. And guess which ones we're featuring in our loading race? Yeah, it's not the egrets. Let's get the lowdown now on the loading with Colin and Danny.
Thanks, James, and it works like this. We've taken apart some monster trucks. Each of our strong men will have 90 seconds to lift these different, awkwardly shaped implements onto the plinths, the heaviest of which is 140 kilos. So Gavin Bilton was first to give it a go. They strapped him up, Colin.
Yes, indeed, overcoming that popped rib pain. And he did 4 implements in 79 seconds, just failing on that final wheel rim. Couldn't quite get it up, and therefore your benchmark for the others.
Representing Canada.
And
Maxime
next to go,
Boudreault.
in Canada, it's Boudreault.
Representing Great Britain.
Taking on
Stoltman.
Pride of Scotland, Tom Stoltman.
Now, this should really suit Tom Stoltman. He's so tall. Ready? Just slap that mighty mitt on the engine block and off you'll go. And he doesn't disappoint. He's brilliant at these kind of events.
Well, absolutely. I mean, in many ways, this is just a running event, and Stoltman is flying.
Yeah, when you've got a 37-inch inside leg, it certainly chews up the ground pretty quickly. And the Albatross, no problem carrying that wheel rim. He didn't have to put it on his shoulder like the others.
So it has to be placed upright when we get to the end. It's hands off, that's when we count the time.
Yes, he just has to chuck on that wheel hub. That weighs 250 pounds onto the red rim. It's 100 kilograms.
Well, that's impressive from Stoltman. Hands off. And he's happy.
Yeah, that was a great time there from Boudreault as well. But,
I'm coming for you.
I'm coming for you, the final, he says. After the first 2 events, I was a little worried, but that certainly saw him in his element there. And Boudreaux's 42 seconds is quick.
It's very fast.
Look at that. That rear differential, 300 pounds, 137 kilos, no problem.
In lane 1, representing the United States of America.
On we go then to Trey Mitchell.
Trey Mitchell.
Did so brilliantly in the squat.
In lane 2, representing
And
the
Novikov, of course.
Oleksii Novikov.
Who's good at everything, really, isn't he?
Oh, he's the all-round package, but the noticeable thing is how much lighter he is than the other guys, and I think that'll probably suit here. He's got pound-for-pound weight, and in a sprint event like this, which is what it really is, that should be good.
Well, look at this from Novikov. I've had parcels delivered like that. On to the next one.
300 pounds, so that is the same weight as him.
No problem.
Yes, there's a bit of an old score between these two. Oh, that was ugly, but it's effective.
And it worked. Down it goes. He's flying ahead of Trey Mitchell.
He's willing to take risks here. He's picking them up backwards, which is... Oh, he could get his feet all crossed up here, but anyway, health and safety turn away.
Well, on to the final implement then.
He's not going to beat 39 seconds by Stoltman.
And I don't think he's beaten Boudreault either, but it's very quick time. And Trey Mitchell.
Yes, he's carrying on here to beat Bilton. He gets that one up, and it doesn't matter what his time was. Bilton only did 4 implements.
5 objects from the Ukraine. Oleksii
So Novikov then, 44.4 seconds. Mitchell just knows that's a quick time.
It feels like he deserves more, actually, than 3rd place for that performance. That was very quick, but unbelievably, Boudreault and Stoltman were quicker. I mean, it was a bit awkward with that green rim, that 3rd implement. He took a risk there, and it probably did slow him up, the stagger.
Well, Novikov's time some way slower than the blistering pace of Tom Stoltman. And that means that overall there's now just a point between the 2 men. Remember, the leader after the next event qualifies for the final automatically. Can Tom take top spot? Over to Colin and Danny.
So yes, we move on then to the overhead press. And this is a fairly new event, Colin.
Yes, of course, there's always been dumbbells, but this is with a twist. It's in pairs to begin with. For the first 4 pairs anyway, they go up and up in weight. And Gavin Bilton, well, he managed to get through 3 pairs, which was impressive, in 23.66 seconds. And if he'd have made it through that 4th, Danny, you then go on to the monster dumbbell, a 1-arm special. weighing 220 pounds. Trey Mitchell on one side.
Representing Canada,
Boudreault
Maxime
on the other.
Boudreault.
Both men look ready for this.
Yes, they do, though. Mitchell has to be the man who wins this, probably by a little margin as well, because he's 2 points behind Boudreault. He's down in fourth in the group, and it's only second and third that go on to the stone-off. The winner goes straight through to the grand final. Not bad so far from Mitchell.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, Boudreault struggling slightly to get those up, but whatever it takes.
Yes, what an interesting technique. He's going for one at a time, kicking them with his knee, taking the stress off of his bicep, while as Trey Mitchell trying to bully up that fourth pair. It's not working.
It isn't. It's not working. Both men struggling.
Yeah, this section's harder than actually the pressing for them. When it's up to the shoulders, they have so much power in the triceps and shoulders that it really shouldn't be too much of a problem. You know, he trying to kick it. Oh, a one-legged balance. It's awful awkward.
It really is. The balance there, when you're holding one above your head, trying to kick the other one up.
145 pounds in each hand, 66 kilos. And, well, this is the first year we've seen it. They had a few weeks' notice before this. I imagine in a few years' time, the weights will be much, much bigger, but it's so awkward for them. First time at it with little time to figure it out and train.
Well, both men beaten with three.
Who was the quicker?
Well, Boudreault managed three in 18.78. And then, of course, beats Bilton.
It's bad news for Trey Mitchell, I'm afraid. It doesn't look like he'll make it into the stone-off, and there'll be a sigh of relief for the guys in that stone-off, because he's a phenomenal stone lifter. That was close for Boudreault. I liked his idea. If he works to that, he might pull it off next year. So who's Boudreault going to be against in the stone-off?
Well, will it be Tom Stoltman?
Arguably the greatest stone lifter ever.
Or will it be Novikov? Always has the power to surprise.
Yes, he does. Now, he's got that points advantage on Stoltman, so if he can just stay even one place behind Tom Stoltman here in this event, he'll go through in first place. Well, he looks so impressive, Novikov. Actually, dumbbell is his favorite event as well, so if he can get through these pairs and onto that single, I don't think anyone in the world will beat him.
Well, it is his favorite event, as you say. Doesn't look like it's Tom's.
He doesn't do bad for a big man, that's for sure. They've both done four, my goodness. Now, this is where I think Novikov will come into his own. He's so proficient.
Well, just using his legs there to snap up, and these... Oof, Stoltman beaten there. But these handles much thicker, Colin, than the others.
Yes, you can't just grip it with one hand and lift it up. It's so thick. It's like a can of Coke, if you like. Watch this. This is just a parade now. He holds it behind his neck, snaps with the legs, as you said, Danny. And it's not quite a circus trick, but it's all legs, and you just catch it at the top. 8 reps to 4. He goes through to the final, Novikov, and a bit of sportsmanship there.
With 4 reps in 30.19 seconds from Great Britain. Give it up
Well,
for Tom Stoltman.
as you say, a tall man. They had a long way to go.
Do you know what? I don't think he's remotely worried. Whoever takes him on in the stones and beats him is not human, I think.
But this guy, Novikov, maybe superhuman. We'll see him in the finals.
Yes, he's done enough. That's it. The leader after 4 events gets that golden ticket straight through to the grand final. That's exactly what he's done.
So Novikov lays that ghost to rest. Makes up for that defeat last year from Mitchell. And he's going back to the hotel for room service while we stay here for Boudreault versus Stoltman in what will be an epic battle involving these very, very heavy stones. And that is next.
Your chance to win £5,000 and some World's Strongest Man goodies.
How do you do?
All you have to do is
text STRONG to 65555 or call 0902 055 0555
or post your name and phone number to Strong, PO Box 7557, Derby DE10NP. For rules and privacy policy, go to channel5.com/win. Good luck, everyone. Welcome back to the SPD World's Strongest Man. Oleksii Novikov is the winner of Heat 3, the man from Ukraine going straight into the final, where he'll be a force to be reckoned with. Behind him, two men are still battling for the other qualifying place. Britain's Tom Stoltman and Canada's Maxime Boudreault, who'll duel now over 8 Atlas stones. The Albatross is known as the #1 stone lifter in the world. But with the pressure on here, can he take this? To find out, it's over to Colin and Danny.
Thanks, James. Yes, so the stone off. And here's a question. If you had 90 seconds, how many of these very heavy stones could you lift onto a plinth? I think I know the answer. But what about this guy? Boudreault will go first, up against Tom Stoltman.
Well, he's facing off against the giant Scotsman, who has the world record in lifting the heaviest stone ever. So these go up to some 200 kilos, 440 pounds, starting at 300 pounds there, the 140 kilo. And my goodness, this guy is a box of tricks, isn't he?
He knows what he has to do, and he's doing it as quickly as he possibly can before he runs out of gas.
Getting heavier and heavier as well, which doesn't make it any easier. Oh, his belt's popped off. On to #6. 165 kilograms.
Wow. This is an extremely fast performance.
It's not just the speed either, is it? There goes #7. Oh, my goodness me, he could do all 8. The first man to do all 8 in any group. That would be extraordinary. 440 pounds. Oh!
Well, still got time.
Weighs about 32 stone, does that big stone. It's not just the weight, it's the circumference of it. It's huge.
He knows he's beaten, or does he? 20 seconds left to go.
Well, Tom Stoltman's going to have to work here. If one man can do all 8, it's him.
What else does Boudreault have? I'm not sure enough.
Come on, Maxime. He's just a very normal-sized strongman compared to Tom Stoltman. That was an extraordinary performance. He can be very proud of that. 7 stones as his time runs out. And it was quick as well.
Wow. I mean, I'm sort of blown away by that. That was so fast, such power, such determination. And you could see that it made Tom Stoltman a little nervous.
Well, if Tom Stoltman beats this and does all 8, that'll be one very worthy man who hasn't made the final. The grand final was just a couple of inches away there if Stoltman indeed fails to get all 8 up and beats him on the 7th. Who knows what can happen, though? A long way to go. A lot of stone lifting to be done here. But when you're 6'8", it sure does help.
To Stoltman then. Boudreault just has to hope.
It wasn't just the amount he lifted, it was the speed he did all 7 at as well. That was what was most impressive, really. Look at this. One motion's the second one, no problem. On to 150 kilos. One motion's that. Goodness. Surely not one motion again. He is. He's not even resting it on his lap. And again!
Wow.
What are we on? #6?
Yeah.
Slam dunk. We're not even 30 seconds into it. #7. Okay, he stops halfway up. And
Well,
he's
that's
beaten
that.
him. He's beaten him on time. He's not going to do #8, is he?
Why not? This is Tom Stoltman. He felt challenged, and he wants to show what he can do. All 8. Wow.
That was under 40 seconds.
I'm coming for that title, baby!
I know you're coming for the title, but don't call me baby. And you have to feel for Boudreault. I mean, I think if he'd been up against anyone else...
Yes. Yes, it was an extraordinary performance. And in many ways, it brought out the very best in Tom Stoltman. He had to do all 8. He could have stopped at 7. He was so quick. I think all 8 was done in about 40 seconds. Extraordinary. Well, he's definitely on course for doing very well in the grand final. He got 5th last year. Who knows? Maybe top 3 this year. He's certainly going to be there in that grand final, taking his place.
Well, you say top 3, Colin. I wonder if he could be top 1.
Well, look, a wee tear from his brother there, who's still got to go in his group.
Yeah, and dedicated to his mum.
King of the Stones!
King of the Steens. The brotherly love, and his older brother Luke, very proud of his younger brother. What a performance, Danny.
Absolutely. Stoltman in full flight. And he's with James now.
We're catching his breath here with us, Tom Stoltman. Tom, when Maxime Boudreault went out there and put down 7, we wondered how you would respond. No one had done 8 until now, but you proved that you're one of the best in the world at this.
Yeah, well, if I didn't win the group, I was confident coming here. I mean, Max, Trey, we had a lot of good stone lifters in the group, but when Max slipped up on the 8 stones, I thought this is my time to pounce and put on a show, and that's what I did. So
you truly did.
I've got to say, Tom, you were just looking absolutely on fire, and I've got to make note of how big you are looking right now. 6'9". What's your body weight?
It's 177 kilograms, so
that's about 390 pounds.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Might as well be a 400-pound man.
Yeah, yeah.
You are. There's no doubt about it. You are so desperate to win this World's Strongest Man title. How much do you want it? How much does it mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hungry. I mean, I was in a hard group, you know, and I battled through it, and we knocked some big names out. So yeah. Each day I'm getting stronger and stronger, and my mum passed away 4 years ago today as well, so yeah, this is for her, like, so.
Okay. Magnificent, Tom. Congratulations. Commiserations, of course, as well to Maxime Boudreault. In our next group of athletes, we're going to have another Canadian, the #1 Canadian strongman, JF Caron, will be in action. So make sure you tune in then for our 4th group of athletes at World's Strongest Man. To play us out today, though, once more, it's over to Colin and Danny.
Well, thanks, James, and yes, lots to look forward to, but lots to look back on as well. As we say, draw your curtains, sit up close, and enjoy what, Colin?
A magnificent montage.
A montage is right.
World's Strongest Man 2020 continues tomorrow at 7. From schedule fillers to prime-time entertainment, we take a look back at TV's biggest game shows. 50 Years of Fun is tomorrow at 8. 7 expats find there's more to their retirement home than meets the eye, starring Dane